I was a teacher at Balfour in the late 1960s. The principal of the school was Mackenzie, and I can recall all of a sudden he would appear standing in the doorway. I'd walk over there, and behind the door would be this quivering little girl, and he would say, "This is Jennifer. She's one of your students." And he said, "She's going to go and stay with her auntie in Swift Current. And we're going to send her lessons, aren't we?" And that was code that she was pregnant. He had a mission, he had a vision to help young people succeed. August of 1972, I was at home with my 3 children, minding my own business. Ring, 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 Mackenzie, how are you? And I'm thinking, He said, "Well, you know that I'm really interested in helping young women stay in school." And I said, "Yes, I realize that." He said, "I'm thinking that I've got the building next door to Balfour, and I'm thinking that we should set that up as a classroom, and I want you to run the program." I said, "Okay, fine. What do I know about running a program?" And he said, "Well, you're a smart cookie, you'll figure it out." And as the saying goes, the rest is history.
The program, initially named Balfour Special Tutorial, opened its doors in 1972 to address the lack of support available for pregnant teenagers. Now operating under the name the Shirley Schneider Support Center, the program continues to provide counseling, support services, wellness, and nutritional training, and multiple daycare locations along with an academic curriculum for young mothers. The program has helped thousands of young women over the decades, enabling them to continue their education while parenting.
I was a pregnant teen at 17. Pretty devastating. Just not sure what I was going to do, where was it going to go. You're teenagers, so then your friends are splitting off from you because things aren't the same anymore. It was a very, very, very tough time until I met a girl at our high school who had gone to Balfour Special Tutorial, so I talked to her, and she really said good things about it. And then from there, I just came by bus. It changed my life and forced me to go in a different direction, a positive direction.
When I went to the school, I had never encountered women who were so invested in the students and cared for them. And they were teachers, but they were social workers.
We did more than just algebra. We talked about life and about what would they want for themselves. They were so happy to be in a place where you weren't being judged. You were accepted as to who you were, and you could succeed. And when they did succeed, it was just amazing how you could see the light would go on and they'd say, "I can do this." By the late 70s, early 80s, young women were no longer willing to give their babies up, and they were trying desperately to look after an infant, come to school, do your homework, go home, try and get everything done. It didn't work. They simply dropped out. And I thought, well, wow, here we got them to this point where they're succeeding and they're going to be able to graduate or maybe at least go to the next grade, and they're dropping out again.
When I got pregnant at 17, I had no father for my child in the picture. I had to get a part-time job, bus my son across the city to his daycare facility, bus to school every day, bus back to pick him up, take him home, get a babysitter, go to work, and then do the same thing over and over and over again every day. We don't want these young moms to be pushed to the limits where they're so exhausted that they can't focus on their education. Daycare makes such a difference for young girls who are trying to focus on their education to not have to do all the things I had to do.
The girls, one day we were looking out across the street, and one of the girls said, "Shirley, you know what you should do? You should go buy a house. We'll bring our babies there and we'll come to school." And I thought, that's not such a bad idea. And with a lot of luck and with some bridge financing and with some more fundraising, we raised enough money to be able to buy the house. And in September of 1986, we opened those front doors, and 12 infants were cared for, and it was an immediate success. There was a waiting list. Again, the rest is history a second time.
Since 1986, over 2,500 families have come through our doors and started their educational journey towards graduation. They can start out very shy, timid, scared, and then they leave us and they could be these confident, wonderful, amazing humans that didn't know that they could be that confident in themselves. If you don't feel safe, it's hard to succeed. It's hard to grow because you need to trust in your environment. You need to trust in the people in your life. And if we're not providing that, we're not allowing them to reach those goals. And we believe in our families immensely. We know they're capable of so much, and we just want to help them get there and graduate and reach potential that they didn't know they had.
When I first saw the second line appear on that pregnancy test, I was 15 and I was incredibly scared. I really thought that my life was over. I was already a runaway. I was a high school dropout, and now I was about to be a teen mom. I really didn't have much support, and coming into the support center, it was the complete opposite. They were all kind, caring, and compassionate, and they did show me a sense of stability that I had never known before. Fast forward to June of 2016, and I did what I thought was impossible. I beat the statistics, I beat my generational trauma. I was the first person in my family to graduate. I graduated with my 2 beautiful daughters, and I graduated as valedictorian. The educators at MICC inspired me so much that I ended up pursuing a diploma in early childhood education with the intent of returning to MICC one day. And here I am 10 years later. I am hoping to give back to these teen moms that I see every day the same caring, kind, compassionate support that I received when I was so young. I know firsthand just how important these support systems are, and I am so grateful to be a part of something so impactful.
I was really lost and confused when I first found out I was going to be a mom at 16, but now after going here, I'm very confident in where my life is headed. I'm going to go to the university and get a bachelor's degree. And I feel really confident about my future.
Graduating for us is like graduating for Oliver, like we're moving up in life, and we're creating a life for him so he can eventually start going to school and he can graduate later on in his life.
Without the support of donors and with monetary donations or through sponsorships, we wouldn't exist. That's what got us started in the first place, to fund opening the daycare centers in 1986. So without that constant support, we simply just would not be here. So
to the donors, I mean, there wouldn't be a place like this if there weren't donors, so they're needed. So the only reason it exists is because of them.
If I could say something to the donors, I would want to say thank you for everything that they've done. They're the reason that I can have my daughter in a safe space, knowing that she's well taken care of while I can go and finish my high school. And it's really, like, without them, I wouldn't be where I am today.
Mommy, this one.
What's this?
Orange.
Orange?
Yeah.
Oh.
I can open it.
Does it smell nice? Does it smell like orange?
Yeah.
Your donation to Mackenzie Infant Care Centers changes the lives of young parents and children forever.